Let's talk about the one area where you have sharply differed with Kendrick Meek, who is your opponent in the Democratic primary. He supports the president's addition of 30,000 troops, military men and women, to go to Afghanistan. You think that's wrong. Why do you think so?
If you watch the president's statement when he received the Nobel Peace Prize, he was almost apologetic, because what he was saying is, I'm receiving a peace prize, and yet I'm a war president. Mm-hmm. And then he tried to justify it through a just war. And I think he's right. There is such a thing as a just war.
World War II.
World War II is a classic example, and he made reference to the question of the Nazis and that you had to have a war effort to stop the Nazis. And that's valid. I accept that. The problem in Afghanistan is that there are really two wars, and we're fighting the wrong war again. In other words, it's the same issue all over again. Look, the Taliban is not the enemy of the United States. The Taliban was different from Al-Qaeda. They were at one time enemies. They did not cooperate. They did not work together. What has happened is there's been a division in our position, and that brought the Taliban and Al-Qaeda together. Now, the Taliban is a local Afghan group, mostly Pashtuns, who really want to dominate their country.
Right. They do not want to invade us, as opposed to Al-Qaeda, which, of course,
has
committed one of the most terrible acts against this country.
And there's a difference between those two enemies. And Taliban is really not our enemy. You know, and that's what we're doing. We're going to go fight the Taliban.
Yeah. Mr. Ferre, the president, in announcing in his speech to Congress and the American people, saying, I'm sending the 30,000 additional troops, he all but acknowledged some of his misgivings about this venture. It's been going on for 8 years. That's why he set a timeline of about 18 months before troops start coming home. So is he not trying to acknowledge that this has been a long struggle and we've got to bring it to an end?
Absolutely, and to his credit. And that's one of the things, many things that I like about Barack Obama, is that he is honest, and he does say, and I think he's obviously a torn president, because he feels that he has to do this. He's being forced into it. He's trying to please the left and the right, and he's pleasing neither.
And the polls
show that. And I think the reality of it, Michael, is that we have to fight the wars that are important to us, that are affecting us. Now, you know, I feel very badly that the Taliban has a Sharia law, and that the Pashtuns have an even worse law, which is a very strict law. But that's their affair. And I don't think that we can interfere in a civilizing, social, nation-building process of Afghan. Our concern is how it affects the United States, and we're not dealing with that.